What's up, guys? We're back with another trailer reaction. Ahsoka has been dropping so many trailers. Like, Disney is really trying to push this thing out. Get the hype going for Ahsoka. I'm super hyped on Ahsoka, and I think this trailer has Anakin Skywalker in it. So let's check it out together. Ahsoka, I believe Anakin's in this. Let's check it out. You guys have seen it, but let's go. All right.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker.
Whoa!
Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
Away from him. Probably blames
In this
himself.
war, you will face more than just droids. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you.
Oh!
I won't always be there to look out for you.
I
That's
could use the
Anakin.
help. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid.
Oh.
And trust your instincts. I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Oh my god, I got freaking chills like crazy. Anakin. Oh my god. That was Anakin's voice talking. That's like all new. All new voice acting by Anakin. Hopefully he's actually in the show. Let's watch it again. I'll shut up this time, but man, you heard so much from Anakin talking to Ahsoka. Holy crap, that's all new too. And it's
Everyone
Okay,
in the Order
let's
knew
go.
Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. I won't always be there to look out for you.
I could use the help. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid. And trust your instincts. I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Oh, she does that too? Oh my god.
He
That's
became.
freaking crazy. There he is right here. Oh man. Wow. I wonder if this is new. Because Hayden, I wonder if he's actually in the show. Like, this is new footage. This has to be new footage. He's in the show. He's got his Padawan little braid there. I wonder if we'll get him with her in the Clone Wars stuff. Oh, flashbacks of Anakin and Ahsoka in the Clone Wars live action. I don't know about that. That might be a little bit too much, but I think it's in 9 days. So this is coming out. Yeah, 9 days from now, guys. Ahsoka trailer is dropping. We're going to watch. There's a new trailer that dropped an hour ago, but let me just check this out for a second. So this is a droid, and then that's the Inquisitor that she fights. So it seems like she fights the Inquisitor in two places. Hold on. Yeah, this scene where the droid is in the middle and they're kind of fighting through the droid. Jedi will rise. There's Ahsoka. Oh man, this is so freaking cool. Sabine, who in the last trailer I was talking about her using a lightsaber and not being force sensitive. So she doesn't necessarily, like you guys said in the comments, she doesn't necessarily have to be force sensitive to wield a lightsaber. Many have before. We just saw it with Bo-Katan. Even Mando didn't use the lightsaber. Plenty of others have used lightsabers that are not force sensitive. So she might not have it any force sensitivity, but and there was a trailer where she had like a blindfold on and she was still using it. So we're gonna see if she actually has force powers in 9 days. So, and then she fights the Inquisitor again here. So it seems like she doesn't defeat this Inquisitor right away, because she fights him or her like in the daytime back here, and then they fight again at night over here. So that might be a different Inquisitor, but I think it's the same one. So that fight might continue, which is good. I don't want her to dispatch him or her too quickly. I want to see kind of more. Look at that. There's one of those. Is that one of those whales? You know, the whales that took Thrawn? Oh, shoot. One of those lights, they can go to light speed. one of those whales that jumps to light speed, and they took Thrawn and Ezra. These might be one of them. I'm not too sure, but these might be those things. Obviously, we're going to see again in a couple of days. I can't believe we get Anakin in this, and she does this force power where she uses her hand as like a shield almost, or she's pushing with the force as well. It almost looks like there's like sparks coming off of her hand. But yeah, she's pushing back because he does look like he's a strong, like strength wise, he might be a lot stronger than her. And she's one-handing it too. So she's not two-handing it. So she's using the force to kind of push back because he's coming down with like two hands. He looks like a lightsaber user with like a heavy style, like a broadsword style. But yeah, that looks awesome. So, okay, there's one more trailer we're going to check out. This one dropped an hour ago. Oh, it's like a 7.5 minute. It might be like some behind the scenes stuff. So let's check it out too.
Always two there are.
Okay.
No more, no less.
Always
A
two.
master and an apprentice.
Star Wars always has these great master-apprentice relationships.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You see that handing down of mastery, the teaching, the developing, the growing.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Man,
It's very much the idea of apprenticeship. The need for those two groups to come together in order to pass down the knowledge and to help save the world. In the case of Star Wars.
When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Those life lessons are what make these characters some of the most iconic characters worldwide.
The war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi.
effortlessly lifting like
All of that
100
wisdom
boulders.
gets passed down, over those generations. We have Qui-Gon Jinn, who's the master of Obi-Wan, who's the master of Anakin Skywalker. And by being trained by Anakin, Ahsoka was part of that legacy as well.
Yeah. Come on, baby. Dave, you're our last hope. Master and apprentice. This music has got me so hyped. Special look at Ahsoka. Come on, I really hope this show's good and it does well ratings wise, because they need to put Dave in charge of more stuff. If it does well, if it is a good show.
Ahsoka is a
2008,
character that
look
Dave
at her.
Filoni created and
he's
worked
so
with
young.
George Lucas on in the Clone Wars.
Originally, we didn't really know, exactly what the Clone Wars was going to be, and we made up our own little band of characters. There was a character that was a Jedi, and there was a Padawan, and thought we'll put them on adventures. But George had other ideas. He says, well, in this character, and he points to the Padawan we had, and he says, let's give Anakin Skywalker a Padawan. And I was like, Anakin doesn't have Padawan. And he just looked at me and said, Anakin has a Padawan. And that was basically it. That's how Ahsoka came about.
Amazing. It's like-
We cast Ashley Eckstein to be the voice of the character. And she's fantastic in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
there was,
Ahsoka is
talks
one
for
of
her
the
to be
most
live
well-developed characters in Star Wars, period.
She's the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. She's the only one that he is trained to be a Jedi.
This young teenage girl who was trained to be a keeper of the peace had to become a warrior worthy of standing next to the greatest Jedi of all time.
For people who have no idea who it is, right? Like, I can show my wife this and then she'll be caught up on who Ahsoka is.
Ahsoka's
Dave's
story and
journey.
her growth has mirrored my own. As you see my style of storytelling mature, the stories got
Wow,
more complex.
cool.
It had grown to the point where I wanted to take what I was doing in animation and really see if I could get it to this type of storytelling that I'd grown up with in Star Wars.
Man, this is Dave's big shot right
Mandalorian
now.
season 1 was a perfect place for me to experiment with my own creativity and style, but have a great backstop and support from collaborating with all these other extraordinary people.
You must reunite it with its own kind.
This is the way.
So when season 2 came around, I was like, for my episode, I was like, well, I'm gonna do Ahsoka. I'm like, I just need to try this. Let's do it.
Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me.
I hope it's about him.
For a character that has such depth and complexity, to bring that character to live action made a tremendous amount of sense.
Tell me what I want to know. Where is your master?
George visited the set when we were filming the lightsaber fight in the Japanese garden, season 2.
Oh, George.
And I think it was really encouraging of Dave stepping up to this role. And so George would turn to Kathy and myself and be proud of Dave. He was Dave's teacher, and Dave was his apprentice.
Wow. Man, I'm getting teary-eyed because
There are moments when I just stare at her.
I knew that, but
she
seeing
looks like this thing I've drawn, but Rosario's done all the research. Like, she knows the character, but now she has to become it in a way that's never happened before.
Yeah, she does it.
Yeah,
really
it actually,
well.
the thing that feels most awkward right now is talking with you. The posing and sort of the stances we're doing, that's not unusual, but speaking as Rosario while in Ahsoka is a little startling. I really love the transformation and really deep diving into who she is.
Rosario Dawson
really
is
gets
just such an
into the
incredibly powerful
role.
actress, and she loves this character. I think everything about who Ahsoka is has just brought to life in a way that almost nobody else could.
She not only gets a character, but she gets like the Star Wars of it all, which is an important ingredient. You have to be in it. This is a hard thing. You're gonna have to be painted orange every day. You're gonna have to put a prosthetic on your head every day. You're gonna be training like a Jedi to learn how to lightsaber fight almost every day.
I'm playing someone who is an absolute expert. And so I really wanted to be able to physicalize that as much as possible.
Yeah, Jedi's primary weapon's a lightsaber. There need to be a lot of lightsaber fights.
Sick.
And they have to be good because our fans know the difference.
When I started getting my stances and some of the postures and, started really getting my left hand up to par with my right, that I started to really feel like I was sinking into who Ahsoka was, because her physicality is such a huge part of who she is. No matter how tired I was like, sign me up for some more. Sign me up for some more.
God, I can't wait. 9 days, guys. 9 days. A new story.
When you step into Star Wars and work with George, you are part of a legacy. You're part of a history, and we had to uphold that history and yet do this completely new and different thing.
Ahsoka is another story where you can step in at any point and not feel that you necessarily have to have seen everything.
Man, Kathleen.
From the beginning of this series, Ahsoka is out there on the fringe of the galaxy. When she hears whispers of this warlord's return, she decides to enlist her friends' help.
This is about preventing another war.
You know who could help?
Sabine Wren.
I'm not sure she'll want to help.
I'm telling the story about this mentor-student relationship that passes from Anakin to Ahsoka to Sabine.
There is nothing easy about being a Jedi.
It's quite extraordinary to bring this to life.
When the stakes are this high, we have to do what's right.
2-episode premiere August 23rd. 9 days from now, guys. 9 days. So, you heard it, right? It's not easy being a Jedi. And then they immediately showed Sabine and Ahsoka training together. So, and then they also talked about it being passed on from Anakin to Ahsoka, from Ahsoka to Sabine. So I know she's older. There has been older, like Luke learned how to be a Jedi way later on in life. Not way, but around, Sabine's age. So I believe that she's a Mandalorian and she's Force sensitive. She has to be, because I don't know. To fight an actual, like, someone who's a Jedi, like this girl who was she was a Jedi before, and she survived Order 66 with her master. So she was training at the temple. So for Sabine to be going against her, I have a feeling she's going to be Force sensitive. It's still up in the air. We still don't know. But I believe that even when Kanan was training her, that there were some there was something special about her. I remember that episode of Rebels when Kanan was training her. She exhibited some signs that she had the Force. So I don't know how strong the Force is in her within her. I don't know if it's gonna be, she can tap into it a little bit, or she's, very powerful. We'll see. But if Ahsoka is gonna be training her to be a Jedi, then she's gotta have, it's gotta be pretty high up there. And even Finn is Force sensitive as well. So they're exploring that more with Jedis becoming, people becoming Jedis later on in life. Ahsoka isn't even officially a Jedi. Like some people go argue back and forth about that because she left the Jedi Order. She didn't finish her training, but she was so trained, and then she kind of like did her own thing. So some people don't consider her a Jedi, but whatever. I think that's like neither here nor there. But I loved how this whole thing began. It showed all the, Yoda, and it showed like this whole thing, and it showed this is really about Dave's journey, right? Dave is, like they said, George's apprentice, right? Like he taught him, he brought him up, and they worked on a lot of projects together. I think George Lucas said Dave is kind of like a son to him, because I don't think he had a son, so he kind of treats him like his son, which is beautiful. Like I love that. Like this is one of the reasons why I want this show to just go crazy and be amazing and be a really good story, because I want George's Star Wars back. Like I'm really disappointed in what they did with some of the shows. Like Obi-Wan for me was a huge disappointment. Boba Fett, huge disappointment for me. Mando season 3, disappointment. So the brand is really being damaged right now. I know a lot of you guys are, you don't see it, but it shows in the numbers. It shows in the ratings that they get. It shows in the number of the views of people watching, even reactions, even in my world, compared to before to now. If you go back and look at the trailer reactions for Force Awakens and look at like Ahsoka. Look at the numbers. Like Force Awakens has like 130 million views or something, and Ahsoka has like 8. So like the brand is being worn down because of the bad people. Normies come into it, they watch, a bad show, and then they don't come back. We'll watch everything. I'll watch everything Star Wars does, even though some of the stuff I don't think is great, but I'll watch anything. But normal people that, want to be entertained, they come, they see, oh, what's this show streaming? If it's bad, they're never going to watch the rest of the show, and they're not going to come back. So Star Wars is in a really bad place. They need a hit right now. They need a big hit. They need it to go crazy on social media, go crazy on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, and whatever else. And they need a big hit, because we need other people to come back to Star Wars and start watching it again, and them to show that Dave can do it. Like he's the guy. Give it to him. Let him tell his stories. And yeah, so he's got a movie coming out too. That's in the works or very early process. The Heir to the Empire, I believe it's going to be called. They're even thinking of doing a Mando season 4 movie to kind of warm up to Heir to the Empire, and that's another Dave project. So I really hope this hits it out of the park. We're going to be reacting to it, me and my wife, on our channel. So subscribe to this channel. I've been getting some subscribers over here, which is pretty cool. So that's why I'm putting more out. So subscribe to this channel. I'm going to keep putting out videos over here. Leave a comment down below what you think of Star Wars. Do you think it's in a good spot? Are you hyped for Ahsoka like I am? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I'll see you next time. I'm out of here. Peace.